Go.
First of all, what's Ryan's status?
He's fine. He practiced yesterday, so I don't anticipate any issues with him playing tomorrow's game.
Last time you went into the game where a team wasn't ranked or considered a title contender, Pittsburgh, and obviously didn't do well. Are you confident the team learned its lesson in that game, or how do you assess it?
I think every road trip is a unique experience. I mean, it's hard to win on the road. Just all you have to do is just look on ESPN's app tonight, tomorrow night, next night. It's hard to win on the road.
Why is that?
Team usually has a lot more confidence when they're playing in front of their home crowd, and you just have to be the same team when you go on the road. You got to be the same team you are in the practice facility. You have to be the same team that your teammates depend on. You got to be able to run good offense, not turn the ball over. It's just a fact in college basketball. More teams win at home than on the road. So, you know, we know every night in this league is a tough experience, and you know, I hope every game that we play, home or away, we continue to learn from one another and get better in areas that we need to.
Georgia Tech known for their defense, and they switch schemes a lot. Can you explain a little bit about how they usually run things?
Yeah, I mean, they try to confuse you. They'll bounce back between man and zone. Their zone is more extended in the half court. They do a really good job of you know, shielding you know, your looks below the foul line, whether that's you know, at the logo, which, you know, a lot of teams want to get the ball in that area of most zones, but that's something they do a great job of taking away. They protect the rim with a really good shot blocker, very similar to Baylor in the years that Coach Drew has sort of run the same zone. So, you know, we're going to have to attack it. We're going to have to do that without turning the ball over. It'd be nice if we made some shots. You know, we're going to have to offensive rebound. They're going to have 3 or 4 players above the foul line at times. Then we've got to be able to penalize them on the glass. So it's a challenge, and you know, Josh does a really good job with his team and the guys that they have, and making that defense work.
You're talking to your team about the next game, Chris. Did you ever point out, for instance, Georgia Tech, Virginia Tech, who's lowest point total this season, they go to Syracuse and beat a home team by 13.
I mean, our guys, I mean, they're invested in the success of our team, and you know, we don't just live in a bubble. I mean, our guys, they follow college basketball, maybe not as closely as the coaches, especially when you start to get into the analytics and, you know, why things happen, and tempo and pace and percentages. But they understand. I mean, they know who's playing who in the ACC and how teams are doing. You know, my concern isn't all the games that are played outside of ours. It's ours, and making sure that our team, you know, is at its best on both ends of the floor.
Chris, there's been a few times in the last couple of weeks where you guys will fall down double digits. More times than not, you guys work your way back into the game. Can you kind of put your finger on what's happening in those stretches? I know Quan said you guys have been working on that in practice.
Well, I thought against, you know, if you go back to our first ACC game, Miami, I didn't think we played very well. You know, I thought against Boston College, you know, offensively, we missed a lot of shots. And I thought maybe for the first time in, you know, a 5-6 minute period at home, we couldn't get any offensive rebounds either. And I don't think it was for lack of effort. You know, I think our team has been a really good offensive rebounding team over the last 7 or 8 games. We missed some shots. It started to affect our defense a little bit, and I think Quan, you know, really got the energy rolling when he got that steal, when they tried to hand off to Bowman right in front of our bench, and you know, it resulted, I think, in Jordan getting the layup at the other end of the floor. And again, for us, we have to get it done on the defensive end, play with a ton of energy, And a lot of teams struggle when they go scoreless over a long period of time to maintain that edge and intensity. That's special teams do that, and we're not there yet. When we're trying to get there, you know, we're not quite there. But I didn't think our start against Boston College had anything to do with not being ready to play.
You mentioned Quan. What does he bring for you guys defensively? What's he been doing so well?
He moves his feet incredibly well. You know, for his whole career, he's gone through experiences of seeing different systems of play, you know, all the different actions that we see, from flex to ball screens to 3 out, 2 in to 4 out, 1 in. Not to mention he's guarded his share of, you know, really good players, some bigger, some smaller, some quicker, some stronger, and he takes a ton of pride in it. He just does. I mean, he goes about his job in a very quiet manner. Just takes a lot of pride in the defensive end. And you know, when he first got here, man, it was really small, but his size has not hurt him in any one matchup that I can remember, and that says a lot about his unique ability to guard.
What else besides his defense, Chris, do you like about him?
I think he's really quick. I think he gets to the rim. You know, again, I think his size at times, you know, hurts him finishing at this level, because he's going against 6'10", you know, 6'11" in the post, as opposed to maybe 6'8" in years past. But he has a burst about him. I think he's really good in the open court. I think he also turns defense into offense for our team. And he's become confident, you know, when he's open. And teams are going to leave him open at times because we have so many other threats on the floor. We want him to shoot. You know, he made a couple threes the other night. He took good ones. He's been really fun to coach. I talk a lot about Dwayne Sutton, and that he would have the same personality in the locker room after a game if he didn't shoot or if he didn't play as much. Quan Ford's the same way, the exact same way.
Look at the way the team has shared the ball even when the shots aren't falling. Through this point in the season, do you feel like they have kind of figured each other out and just kind of each other's tendencies and kind of how they like to play?
I think so. I think so. You know, we just like to see a little bit more consistent play from each guy on the team. You know, knowing, you know, what a certain guy is going to bring on any given night. You know, I think we have that with a few guys. You know, I think, you know, CC, you know what you're going to get. You know, he might score some games a little bit more than others, but he's going to do what the game tells him. He's going to run his team. I think Dwayne Sutton's going to be the guy that is going to do a little bit of everything for you. You know, hopefully hits a couple shots during the course of the game. That's the difference between him maybe getting 10, 12 versus 17, 18. I think, you know, what Jordan's going to bring to the table. You know, I think our other players, you know, offensively, if we could just get them to be a little bit more consistent and confident in their roles, then I think we have a chance to be a pretty daggone good team.
Jordan at Pitt was 2 out of 14, I think. Now the last couple games have been really hot. Was that just a bad game, or did something change?
I think it wasn't a great game for him, but I think, you know, you have to take a little ownership of maybe why he didn't shoot well or play well. If you don't find the ball going in early on, then you got to figure out a way to get a layup, get to the foul line, and he didn't necessarily do that against Pitt. I also think that he's letting the game come to him a little bit more. He passed up a few shots that, had he shot it, I don't know if anybody in the stands or on the staff or on his team would have been like, that's a bad shot. But it was a great shot that he got to Quan in the corner the other night. It makes our team that much harder to guard. And, you know, he's an efficient player when he plays that way.
Kristen never made, I think it was like 20 or 21 threes in a season before he came here. He's already at 19 with half the season left. Why is he, and he's shooting like 46 or 47%. What is he doing differently this season?
You know, I haven't watched enough film on him in years past. I can only coach the guy that I've had, and you know, he takes open threes. You know, very rarely does CC ever force anything, to be quite honest, in terms of shooting the ball. You know, I think the other night he might have been Miami. I can't really remember the game. He went on a little run there, and then he sort of took what I would call a heat check three. And as soon as he let it go, he knew it. He actually looked over the bench. He's like, my bad, my bad. Because again, I think he has that mentality of do what the team needs me to do and expects me to do. And he should be a confident shooter. When he shoots in drills, when he shoots in practice, when he's open, I feel like it's going in.
Anything else for Coach? Thank you.
Thanks.